Well, it's Uncommon Fossil today, presenting a budget upgrade to the Charizard EX starter deck. This is the first. I'm going to take a look at all of the starter decks and looking at budget upgrades. And by budget upgrades, I mean super budget upgrade, being the price of 0. All the cards I'm going to be adding to the deck are from the other starter decks. So the card pool for each of these upgraded decks is strictly the other starter decks. So no, you don't need to spend any credits, or what do these do, currencies? Trainer points or trainer credits. So you don't need to spend any of those for this. 100% free. And these are, I suggest doing these things day one if you're a new player. So I'm starting with Charizard because I'm very familiar with it. It's a good deck too. I don't know if it's the best deck or not. Going to wait till I go through the other decks, but let's jump in and start walking through the cards. Since this is beginner, new player focused, I'll spend a little bit more time with the introduction than I might in other videos. So if you don't need the full detail breakdown, you can just jump to the gameplay, which follows this, and then I'll have a little recap at the end of the video. So it's a Charizard EX4 of the Charmanders, one of the Charmeleon. There were 2 in the original list. I definitely will mention all of the changes to why I've done it. I think 1 is adequate. Because most of the time using rare candies, so just freeing up deck space for other cards is a good thing there. And look, why is this deck good? Because Charizard EX is good. 330 HP, a nice high number. It does Burning Darkness for 2 fire, it does 180 plus 30 more for each prize card your opponent's taken. So 180 is okay, but as the game goes on, it gets more and more dangerous. And it's got the Infernal Rain ability, which is super, super awesome. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you can search your deck for up to 3 basic fire energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon any way you like. Charizard EX only needs 2 energies, so you attach 2 to Charizard, and you have 1 extra energy attached elsewhere. So super awesome. And partly because of this ability, and because if 3 Charizard EXs get knocked out, we lose the game. We don't need a ton of energy. So the original list, I'll jump to that, had energies because it had 10 basic fire energies. I'm down to 6, which is really the standard number. That's all you need. Part of it is we don't need 6 will be enough to attack the whole game. Yes, they can be prized. We do have energy recovery, but the other reason, probably the big reason, is because of this ability. We have we don't need to get the energies in hand. The energies being in deck is actually where we prefer them. For most decks, besides needing enough energy to pay for the attacks, we do that here as well, but you have to get the energies in hand to attach them every turn. We don't need to be getting energies in hand, so 6 energies. Again, that's 4 deck slots there that frees up, so that is super awesome. All right, so going through these other Pokemon, keeping the Pidgeot EX line, keeping it the same way, 2-1-2. We definitely want to have stage 1s these days because of Bidoof, which item locks you, so you can't play Rare Candy. So, plus we play TM Evolution, we'll get to that, which is also very good. But Pidgeot EX, super awesome card, 280 HP, so not that high for a stage 2, but free retreat, that's good. But then it's got the quick search ability. Once during your turn, you can search your deck for a card, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. You can't use this ability more than 1 quick search ability per turn, so even if you get both Pidgeot EXs evolved, you can't use both of them on the same turn, so you're rarely trying to get 2 evolved. It's a good card, and it can attack with those 120, discards a stadium. It's useful as well. Keeping Cleffa in the deck, that was in the deck already. It gives us another pivot card. It's 30 HP, so it easily gets knocked out, but if you go second, grasping draw the F7 cards in hand, or if you have the energy and the tool, you do want to play the TM Evolution too. So it's good there. MEW EX was in the deck originally. I cut that because I don't think that's necessary. It also had a 1-1 Rapska line. Rapska protects your bench, right? Just in case. So look, if you're not familiar with the MEW EX, free retreat, genome hacking, copies opponent's attacks. You can power it up with Charizard EX. It makes sense, but I think the deck's fine without it. And you can draw cards occasionally, but only up to 3 in hand. So most of the time you have 3 cards, is my thought. So Rapska, stage 1. Spherical Shields, a very good ability. That's why it was here in the deck. Prevents damage from and effects of attacks from your opponent's attacks done to your bench Pokemon. Really good in this world of Dragapult, and also Hop Zacian, which hits the bench as well. But it's a stage 1. It tends to be a little slow, so you don't usually get it set up when you need it. So I'm cutting it. But, keep that in mind if you think you need it back. All right, so what did I put in the deck for new Pokemon? Fezandipiti EX, super awesome. I imagine every deck's getting this. I'm not certain. You can attack with it because it's 3 colors energy, but it's really here for flip the script. If when your Pokemon's knocked out your opponent's last turn, you get to draw 3 cards. So super awesome there, right? It's just super, super awesome. So you basically want that in every game that you're playing. And then adding a 2/1/1 Dusknoir line. Dusknoir, which has the Cursed Blast ability, both on the Stage 1 and the Stage 2. During your turn, for the Stage 2, you put 13 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. It all goes on one Pokemon. You don't get to spread out the damage counters, so keep that in mind. But you put 13 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and this Pokemon is knocked out. So you give him a prize card. The Stage 1 is similar, except it only puts 5 damage counters on. Makes sense, it's a Stage 1, right? So again, we have a Stage 1 we can evolve through, as well as rare candies in the deck. So and 2 of the basics. Why do we want this? A couple things. One, putting damage is good. And also giving up prize cards can be good. It does a couple things. One, we play counter catcher in the deck. They can only use if you're behind on prizes. So if you if you're tied on prizes, Curse Blast, knock yourself out, put damage on your opponent's Pokemon, but don't knock them out, right? If you knock them out, then you're still tied on prizes. But then now you can use counter catcher. The other thing is Charizard EX's attack scales, right? 30 more damage for each prize card your opponent's taken. So it gives you an extra 30 damage if you knocked yourself out. And also, plus you can potentially put that 13 or 5 damage counters on that Pokemon you're attacking into. So you can even scale the damage even higher there. Just be careful that you don't, just be aware that sometimes you can help your opponent out with this. And I've seen this in a lot of games where my opponent was playing Dusknoir. I have 3 prizes remaining. They play a Dusknoir on their turn, which puts them down to 2 prizes. They don't win the game on their turn, which they probably knew about when they played it. And now I can take it. If I get the knockout, I win the game. So just be aware. You don't want to help. You're helping your opponent at the same time. So just weigh the decision. That's where it's a little tricky for new players when to use the Dusknoir. It makes the deck a lot better though. So definitely keep it in the deck. But just use it. Don't be afraid to use it. And certainly trial and error is how we learn, but don't overuse it. Okay, so what's in the deck for the trainers now? I had a second counter catcher, really good. Gusting on an item as long as you're behind the prizes. Kept the A-spec of Maximum Belt does 50 more to your opponent's EX, which really helps getting the scaling where we need to be. A new card I added was Night Stretcher, really good card. Put a Pokemon or Basic Energy from the discard pile into your hand, really good there. Added a rescue board. It reduces the retreat cost by 1, or it reduces it to 0 if it's 30 HP or less. That's rarely the case. Usually you're just reducing by 1. It just helps out, right? Put it on your Fezandipiti, and also you have a pivot there if you haven't been fortunate enough to set up your Pidgeot EX. 2 Nest Balls. There was 1 before, up to 2, partly with Fezandipiti, and just helps get things set up. 2 copies of Artazon still in the deck. Most of these are the same still. Puts a basic from you search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put on your bench, just help set up 2 Boss's Orders, super awesome there. 4 Iono, a useful supporter. 4 Arven, you definitely want the 4 Arven, partly, especially if you end up going second, because then you can grab you get a tool and an item card. So like you get your Buddy-Buddy Poffin and your TM Evolution, and you're really good to go. So TM Evolution, just 1 copy here. You need 1 energy to attach. Should the deck play a second copy? I'm not sure. Do I have a second copy in the starter decks? I might not also. So I might be restricted to 1 copy. So you choose up to 2 of your bench Pokemon, and be careful. The selection I find a little awkward for this, and I've sometimes messed up and only selected 1. So just be careful with that. If you want to select 2, make sure you select 2. And you search your deck for an evolution card that evolves from it. If you have a basic, you search for a Stage 1. If you have a Stage 1 on the bench, you search for a Stage 2. So evolve 2 Pokemon, really good there. 2 copies of Super Rod, Pokemon and or Basic Energies for the discard pile into the deck. 1 copy Defiance Band, does 30 more damage, again good. Dusknoir again can help activate Defiance Band. Again, Charizard, especially early game, doesn't hit the numbers you want all the time, so Defiance Band, good there. We play the 4 Arven, so getting some tools is good. 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin. We have all these, put up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less onto your bench. We have a lot of low HP Pokemon, so you're going to play 4 of this. 4 Ultra Ball because we have these evolutions, need that, and 4 Rare Candy because we have these stage 2s and we want to be able to skip that a lot. You know, I want to be able to go from the basic to the stage 2 as much as possible. So that's the list. It's a good list for sure. Whether it's the best of the starter decks, I don't know, but let's go take a look at the deck in action. All right, got the content creator's luck when sitting down to record, where I just had my first game to try to record with this deck. I just didn't set up at all. My opponent set up reasonably well. They set up normally, that's what I'd say. It was Dragapult, which is tricky once they set up. If they set up first, it's a tough matchup. So I'm gonna go first. You know, like I said, I'm on the fence first or second with this deck. Maybe I should go second. Yeah, obviously, but one of the ways to figure out, if you're not sure, you choose something, you stick with it, and then you just mentally track how many games you play with the cards you have in hand would have been better. What was this, like 3 mulligans? Wow. Okay. And I'll send up a Charmander because I already have a second. This is fine. You know, now I don't know, right? At this point, I don't have a tool or an energy, so I would have had to, I don't know what I'll draw, but I would have probably had to hit an energy and the tool off the Iono, which is unlikely, right? So Pekarunt. So this is a poison deck, so this is going to be annoying too. All right, so what do I need here? They're going to probably knock something out here, right? So I have those 3. So I probably want another, I think I'm, actually, I don't want to fill up my bench, do I? So I'm going to just leave the 1 Pidgey in play. No, I want to thin the deck. So I won't bench the Pidgey in hand, is what I'm thinking. Do this, leave the bench spot open so I can slap down Fezandipiti next turn. So see what happens here, right? See what happens. If they don't take the knockout, I probably... we'll see what I draw. I probably want to use the Ultra Ball. They're going to poison, and then are they going to knock me out? They do, what? They put 5 more. So they put 6 damage counters on me right now if they get me poisoned. So they knock me out. They're going to knock me out here. That's not ideal. But... oh, and the problem is, so they're gonna, if they knock me out with poison, that knockout occurs during Pokemon checkup. So if you're not familiar with that, so you have your turn, and then you have Pokemon checkup, which is between the turns. So Fezandipiti works if I'm knocked out during my opponent's last turn, which includes from the attack, right? That their turn ends when the attack is resolved, but the poison now the poison counters are put on during their turn, but the effect of the poison counters, the damage, doesn't actually happen until after their turn ends. So I'm gonna get, my Charmander's gonna get knocked out, but he's gonna get knocked out between turns. So Charmander's not going to, so Fezandipiti's not going to be effective. So this is unfortunate, right? Because I get knocked out because I get 1 poison counter. This puts 5, as long as they get the tool. Of course, they need the tool, and which they got with the secret box. So I'm poisoned. I get 5 more 6, and then I get, what, 7, 8. Yeah, I get 8 poison. That's a lot. These poison decks are rough, and it's a fun kind of deck to play, I gotta say. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to get lucky with the Iono, I think. That's where I'm at here. So Squawkabilly, I don't know if they needed the Squawkabilly, but they did. Look, I'm kind of glad it's there. It's a 2-prize Pokemon. So Pekarunt, yeah. So it's a I'll send up a Charmander, and because I might not be able to switch. I'm hoping I can attack. I don't want to keep giving up prizes. I could just kind of keep bleeding prizes some. So I'll attach. I'll slap down the Pidgey, I guess. Or I'm gonna slap down the Pidgey, and then Iono. I don't want to Ultra Ball away these cards necessarily, right? And I could get rid of the Stadium. What am I gonna do now? Like I said, the Fezandipiti doesn't work here, so I'm going to drop down by the Charmander. I was thinking, do I want Cleffa and draw some cards? But no. And I get rid of their stadium, which is a plus. So let me get something in play here, right? Do I need the boss? Do I need the rod? Just need to start getting set up here, right? That's the other thing. I need to start getting set up. So yeah, I'll do the Charmeleon because I have Ultra Ball and I can evolve next turn, right? So I'll get rid of their stadium. So Blazing Destruction isn't the best attack in the game for sure, but I did get rid of their stadium. So unless they can I might not get knocked out this turn. That's a plus. But they can attack with Roaring Moon too. So it's like an Ancient Box. So it's Ancient Box with Poison is what we have here. So I mean, they can they definitely one-shot me with the Roaring Moon. His base damage is 70, and he scales up from there. My HP is 70, so yeah, getting Fezandipiti is good for them. So probably have to ditch the boss, which is unfortunate. I would have liked to, because I probably have to Ultra Ball for discard the other 2 cards in hand for Ultra Ball to get the Charizard EX. I could have got the Pidgey, but then I wouldn't have been guaranteed to attack, right? So I think I'm going to retreat and not have my Charmander knocked out. I assume they're going to end turn here, right? We'll see what happens. So they're thinking, I guess, or they stop playing. I assume they're thinking. Hopefully they do something soon. So. Right, I think that, yeah. So I didn't get knocked out. I will take a prize and even things up. I'm pretty sure is what I need to do here. I got Charizard EX. This is really good. So now I can Gust, right? So I think I want to take out the Pekka, right? I want to take 2 prizes. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do. So I have the retreat cost paid already in the active, so I don't want to put another. So I obviously need to power up the Charizard EX. I'll put the other energy on the Charmander. That's always one of the questions too. What do I do with that excess energy? I could always leave it in the deck too. So I will retreat. That's good there. I want to take 2 prizes. I'm pretty sure. I need cards too. So 2 prizes besides moving me forward to winning the game does get me 2 more cards in hand. So take out the Pekka, just take away one of their tools. The Squawk ability at this point is a dead card to them, essentially. So, so there we go. If they hadn't taken the knockout before, I wouldn't have gotten. Okay, so Arven, so I can evolve to Pidgeot EX. So this is good too. I have Rare Candy. I have Ultra Ball. I have Arven as well. I don't know if I want to use the Arven or not. I have to think that through. Probably might just want to take 2 more prizes and knock out the Squawk ability if I can, because they want to get that Squawk ability out of play. So you can see, it's a turbo style deck because, all right, so they're going to move the damage. So they're going to take a prize on Charmander, assuming they have a Darkness Energy in hand, which they're going to get now. Yeah, I'm thinking, so they'll get a prize, but then obviously I've got to win the prize race. So they're going to start, hopefully they can't one-shot me. Well, they can one-shot me with the poison at some point. It's very tough for Roaring Moon to one-shot a Charizard EX. Potentially they could, right? They're actually short of being halfway, but they'll got the boss. So now that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? So I want a boss here. Wow, okay, now I think I need to boss. Now if I Ultra Ball, I only have 2 boss in deck, so I gotta play this boss because I want to take these 2 prizes. So I'll take the Squawk ability. They probably knock me out next turn. I don't think I want to no, I want to keep these cards for next turn. That's my thought. So I could evolve to a stage 1. But look, right now they don't have the knockout. That's the good news. Okay, Dusknoir counter catcher, so that's good too. Dusknoir can take a prize as well, right? He puts 13 damage counters on something, so he can take out the so they played Fezandipiti, so that's good. So Fezandipiti, which is a good card anyway. So now they finish off my Charizard EX, right? So I'm gonna send up. I have Rare Candy in hand. I'm not gonna be able to use Counter Catcher, I don't think, right? Which is a good thing. So okay, they didn't need the Binding Emoji. That was a mistake there, because I'm gonna knock him out next turn. They don't know that, but they kind of have to have a feeling I can, right? So which means they're wasting the Binding Emoji. The Binding Emoji lets them do 40 more damage if if they're poisoned. So they take the prize there. My Charmander lives, so I have this other so they're going to be down to 2 prizes though. So if they can so they're going to have a chance to win next turn by one-shotting me. They really need the Binding Emoji for next turn though. That's what I will say. So I'm going to set up the Charmander because I've got to attack with him this turn. Take a prize. Can I win? I can win this turn. Hopefully. Let's see what happens. So, Cleffa. So I need to Arven, right? Because I want a Rare Candy. Well, wait, let me think here. So yeah, I need a Rare Candy. So right, need a Rare Candy, and I just need a tool to discard in this case. So now I can Ultra Ball, get rid of these 2 cards, get my Charizard EX. I have 2 Rare Candies, and I have game in hand now, so good. So, and I'm going to Rare Candy both of them. I will take. So yes, because I need to power myself up down to 1 energy in deck, so just enough. So that's good. I wasn't. Wow. So 1 energy was prized. Okay, I should have been paying attention to that, and I evolve him. I will knock out the Peckerrunt on the bench. Right, there's nothing preventing him. Right, just making sure, just double checking his ability, because I don't want to not take that prize. Right, because that would. And now I knock out the active, and I get game. So this is where the Dusknoir really came through. Opponent conceded because I pulled. So it came together that game, right? My opponent got a pretty good start. I was behind things, but because of the Dusknoir, able to pull out the win. All right, going up against an opponent that's getting close to Arceus League. It's not called Arceus League, is it anymore? I think they renamed it. I think it's the symbol is still Arceus League. I don't know. I know they changed stuff right. I'm going to go first. Again, should I be going second? Possibly. I'm just trying to keep a mental tally. At this point, first has been last game. All right, I'll send him up. This is not great. So we'll see what happens here. Nice sleeves by opponent. I've seen these elsewhere. I don't know. All right. It's Iron Crown. So future. Okay. I like that deck. So Artazon, get down at a Charmander, of course, is what I need, and I'll just end turn. It's not great. I could say, yeah, I could say with a lot of confidence, I don't feel great about this. I could have used Ultra Ball, but, I may need Ultra Ball too. So, we'll see what happens. So, yeah, so they have what's the baby thorns do? Oh, okay. I haven't played with the baby thorns. All right. Generator, so they might be able to attack, and they missed it. Okay, so all right, so not all right, so let me. I definitely want this guy down. Do I want another? And I guess I'll slap down I want to thin the deck some, so what do I want to do, right? I think I want to leave that deck slot open. So Arven. So if I get a rare candy here, what's in the discard pile? Get a rare candy, and my tool being... Oh, wait. Do I knock them out? Let's think. 180... Plus, yeah, actually, I knocked them out, right, with that tool, I do believe. So I will Ultra Ball, get rid of these 2 cards. Because I want to keep the Dusclops still, I think. Get my stage 2. And I need to accelerate to the active, which is fine. I need to pay the retreat cost, right? I don't want to use the ability, I don't think, at this point. So, because I don't, right, 180... plus 50. Yeah, I believe I'd get right there. So because I want to save the Duskull if I can. That's what I'm thinking. So if I miscounted it, then I'm wasting this energy. But so you're doing 3. Oh, that's right. They're weak to me. Silly me. They're weak to me, so I don't need the tool at all. So okay. So I could have, I forgot they're weak. So that was a mistake on my part because I didn't need to use the energy on Dusclops or Dusknoir. I could have used gotten the tool. So anyway, so that they're weak to me, so they're in a lot of trouble. Okay, stage 1 for my Pidgey. Yeah, so I'm in good shape here. I forgot they're weak to me, which was bad on my part for sure. So they're gonna hopefully not knock me out. If they knock me out, of course, that's really bad news. 7 times, what, 5? So pretend theory, they could do it, right? 1, so they got, what, I think it's, will they do 200? Oh, because of the tool too, right? So they do 2-shot me though, which is kind of scary. They concede it. So look, if they could, I probably was going to win, is what I'll say. I probably was going to win, but I was a little uncomfortable because I didn't have the Pidgeot EX set up yet. So, but anyway, yeah, it looked like I was going to win the game. Got the W, so just give a few comments to wrap up this video. All right, so a few thoughts to kind of wrap up this video. Look, Charizard is good. It's just a really good Pokemon. High HP, good damage. It scales as the game goes on. It powers itself up. Super awesome. Obviously, Pidgeot EX, really, really good. A common way the deck's played now is with Noctowl, which because the Jewel Seeker ability. Charizard, I don't know if it might drop the Pidgeot or it drops the Dusknoir. I'm not sure for space how it makes it work. But not the Noctowl, it lets you search for any 2 cards if you have a Terra in play. Now, Charizard EX is a Terra Pokemon. You tend to forget about that, but it is a Terra, says it on it, which gives the bench protection. But it's not good with Noctowl because Noctowl helps you set up. So what you need is a basic Terra Pokemon, and usually what you want then is Terapagos. Is it 2 R's? Let's see. No. All right, let's find that here. Sorry. So Terapagos is what you want, just showing you what you want. Terapagos EX. Because it's a Terra, it's a basic, it's got a useful attack. It does 2 energies. You can't use it your first turn going second, by the way, but it does 30 damage for each of your bench Pokemon, so it's okay as an attack. Not necessarily the best attack, but you want an EX, a basic Terra Pokemon that you can attack with as well. So that's another way to go, but you've got to get the Terapagos EX. Yeah, the Dusknoir is really good. The Rabsca line that I got rid of, I think it's fine. You're going to want it occasionally, but I think with 2 cards, both for bench space, deck space, it's a lot of times you need it. You're going to be a turn too slow getting it set up too. That's what I found with it. So I think I'm good not having that. And I don't miss Mew in the deck. 6 energies, that's plenty. In terms of trainers, there were a couple things I would have liked. I'm trying to remember now what it is I would have wanted that I don't have. Oh, there's the supporter that gets you a extra prize if your opponent has exactly 2 cards left. 2 prizes. Let me see what that one's called. Sorry. Briar, right? So Briar's good in the deck. I don't have it. It's not in the starter deck, so you could craft it. It's not what it costs 100 trainer. Is it trainer credits? Sorry, I'm trying to remember what these things are. So it's not that expensive to craft. What it does, you can only use it if you have exactly 2 prize cards remaining. Because we have the Dusknoir line, we have more ability to manipulate the prize cards. And then what happens is if your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out by an attack from your Terra Pokemon, and we're basically taking knockouts with Charizard each turn, right? Then you take an extra prize. So your opponent has 2 prizes left. We take 3 prizes if we knock out a 2-prize Pokemon. So that's really good, right? And a lot of times that will win the game. We do have the Pidgeot EX to get into hand, so I would put Briar in the deck. That's the one, that's my recommended change. Put Briar in the deck. I don't necessarily feel like I need Rescue Board or something. You figure out what to put in. So Briar would definitely be a change I'd put in. And I would consider a second Team Evolution. If I had a second Team Evolution in the deck, and you can see I don't have any available, so there's not a second one in the starter decks, then a second Team Evolution deck, I definitely go second each time I get the choice. So, that's another change I would consider for the deck. But anyway, a very good deck just the way it is. Definitely give it a try. If you're a new player and you want to play Charizard, I would recommend making these changes day one, and I think you'll like it. So take care, have fun, and play some Pokemon.